Are you thinking of selling your home, or is your home currently on the market and you are disappointed and you're really confused and so frustrated? Well, trust me, you are not alone. There are a ton of homeowners across the nation that are in the exact same boat as you are. The market has shifted and it is leaving a lot of home sellers wondering, why isn't my house moving as quickly as it would have a year or two ago? Today, I am going to break down exactly what's going on in the housing market and why it is impacting sellers the way it is. I'm also going to give you some helpful tips so that you can move forward with confidence when selling your home. Now stick around for those of you who are considering selling your home or those who are currently on the market. Listen to this video because it could really save you a lot of time and energy and money and hassle. So probably the most important part of this whole video is for you to understand that the market has changed. It's shifting, it's slowing down. So what are the facts? So based on recent data from May to June of 2025, in the triangle, sellers are getting 97% of their asking price, which is down 98.4% since last year. This is a 1.4% reduction. In Durham, sellers are getting 97.6% of their asking price, compared with 99% a year ago. This is also a 1.4% reduction. And in Chapel Hill, sellers are getting 98.7%, which is down from 100% a year ago. This is a 1.3% reduction. Key takeaways in the triangle. While the market has been competitive, there's a trend towards homes that are selling slightly below the average price compared to years ago when we were getting in bidding wars and prices were going way up. The market is still somewhat competitive, with some homes, particularly hot homes, still selling above asking, but the percentage of homes doing this has decreased compared to peak market conditions in previous years. Buyers now have a bit more room for negotiation and fewer bidding wars. Prices are down and it's taking more time to go under contract. Average days on market is stretching out. In the triangle, the average days on market is 26, which is up from 20. That's a 30% increase from last year. In Durham, average days on market is 27, which is up from 21, a 28% increase from last year. And Chapel Hill's average days on market is at 32, which is up from 24, a 33.3% increase from 2024. Inventory is also increasing. It is still low, but it is up significantly. In the triangle, inventory is up from last year at 2.4 months to now at 3.4 months. And this is a 41.7% increase. In Durham, inventory is up from 2.2 months to 3.6 months, 27% increase. And in Chapel Hill, there is 3.6 months of inventory on the market, which is up from 2.2 last year, a 33% increase. So as you can see, there are more homes on the market, and it is taking longer for homes to go under contract, and sellers are having to negotiate. So what does this mean for sellers? It means that the housing market isn't dead, but it's cooling. We have less buyers out there jumping into the market for a lot of reasons. Affordability is an issue. What I'm saying is homes are priced pretty high because that is where the comps are. We have higher mortgage rates. We're also seeing an increase in inventory, so the market is shifting. We're not getting the frenzy buyers that were tearing down your door to make offers. We're not in 2021 or 2022. Right now, we are entering a market where strategic pricing, flexibility, and presentation are rewarded. Out of these three, probably the most important thing that you could focus on is strategic pricing. a lot of you out there are thinking, oh well, she's just a pesky realtor and she's overpaid and she just wants to make her money and run and she doesn't want to work hard and do the hard marketing and negotiating. She just wants to underprice her house because she will get paid quicker and then she will be able to go on to the next sellers and do the same thing. Well, make all that money because they're all just a bunch of greedy realtors. As realtors, we hear this all the time, but I will tell you, I don't care how amazing your agent is. If your house is overpriced, it is very unlikely that it is going to sell in this market. I promise you, buyers are scared. There is so much uncertainty out there. There's a lot of economic drama going on right now. We have increased inventories across the nation, prices are falling, and there just aren't a lot of buyers out there. We also have mortgage rates that are higher than they have been for years. Look at this slide. It shows mortgage rates from 2019 to 2025. You see at the bottom point we were at 3%, and at the top we're at 7%. Rates are just shy of 7% right now. The reality is houses cost double what they used to just because of higher interest rates, let alone the house prices themselves have increased substantially in the last few years. So most buyers are barely able to afford the homes that are coming on the market. And we have sellers thinking that because their neighbor just sold their house, that they should be able to get 5% higher because they painted the interior and installed new carpet. This isn't going to fly anymore. The reality is that you must get super focused on your pricing. And you have heard me say this before. If you don't price it right the first time and have to make price reductions, you are going to get at least 1% less for your home in the long run, and it is going to take longer for your house to sell. If you need to sell your home, it is time to read the tea leaves and be aware of the market that we're in. It is time to be humble and not reach for the stars. For most sellers who are saying, I don't have to sell, Jodi, well, great, but just understand that putting your home on the market is very emotional. I am making this video to set your expectations and to tell you what you can do if you truly do want to sell your home, which most of the people watching this channel want to sell their homes. They want to do it quickly and they want to maximize their profits. And I am here to tell you how to do just that. So let's talk about inventories. I have already talked about rising inventories in the Triangle, Chapel Hill, and Durham. You can also see from this graph what is happening across the country. Inventory is up substantially. Now, what I want you all to know when you are watching this video is buyers' demand is not keeping up with the number of houses that are coming on the market. We have an imbalance right now where we have less buyers and we have more homes to choose from. So the only way to sell these homes is to position your home perfectly for the market in terms of doing pre-sale inspections and making repairs, getting your house ready to sell and make it Pottery Barn perfect. And most importantly, price your home competitively to get it sold. It is always about price, condition, location, and marketing. Just know, even when you do everything right, buyers still may want to negotiate with you. There are less buyers and rates are high, offering incentives like buying the buyer's interest rate down a point could make a huge difference in your time on market. With inventories being up here and nationally and sales dipping, not as many people are jumping in and purchasing homes right now. If you are wondering why it feels so slow, and if you're wondering why your house isn't getting multiple offers, It's because of the imbalance in the real estate market. Today, even when you're doing everything right, your house still may sit and get less people looking than in the recent past. Patience is a virtue. If you do it right, your home will sell, even in today's market. It's not dead, it is just slow. In addition to patience, you must have thick skin. The feedback that you get from buyers sometimes will blow your mind and be totally off-putting. Just take a deep breath and step back. When you know buyers are wrong about your house, they're wrong. The right person will be there, and you just have to be patient. But I will say it, I will tell you, if you get the same negative feedback twice, you should look at fixing the problem. For example, one home where I was the second agent to come in, I looked at all the feedback. There was an issue with the house not having enough privacy in the backyard. So I recommended that they plant trees, which they did. We put the house on the market and presto, it sold. Sometimes you can fix the issue, but sometimes you can't, so you just have to be patient. We are all feeling the headwinds of this marketplace. It is slowing down. So the more that you get on board, the better. Do not assume that the market is the same market that it was a year ago. You need to really drill down to understand how the market is performing so that you know exactly what to expect. It is very important that you do this. Now, I can tell you that the fatal mistake that most sellers are making right now is that they are assuming that we're in the same market we were a year ago, and we are not. The hardest thing in my job right now is dealing with sellers who have expectations that are unrealistic. They think that their house is here and the market is actually over here. They insist on listing their house high, and then it sits and sits. Then I get the call that they now understand the market and they're ready to reduce their price. When this situation happens, you are just chasing the market down. This is the situation that you do not want to be in. The best advice that I can give you is listen to your agent. And if you are uncertain, interview multiple agents, do solid research, and get a good handle on the market and what you need to do to achieve your goals in a reasonable amount of time. Now, a lot of sellers may say they will just wait out the market. They will take their house off of the market and just wait for the market to correct. Well, folks, we don't know if the market is going to correct or not. It could get worse, it could get better. So I always tell my sellers that, hey, if you truly want to sell your home, then you're going to have to deal with the current market. I wish I had a crystal ball and I could predict the future. If you want to wait, well, then you should wait. And then you'll need to deal with the market at that point in time. It could be up, it could be down. The one thing that we do know in the Chapel Hill and Durham market, we have the most buyers in the spring market. So if you want to time the market, shoot for that part of the year, January through May. So here are 5 things that you as a seller can do right now to improve your chances of selling your home successfully. The first one is know your market. Don't listen to the headline news, just really focus on what your neighborhood is doing specifically. A real estate agent like me who knows what the heck they're talking about, really be honest about the comps. Is your house really worth more than your neighbor's house? Know your market inside and out. Know how much inventory is on the market and how much competition you will have. Know the days on market. Know the velocity in which homes are going under contract. Those are very important statistics for you to know. And if you're working with an agent who knows the local market, they should be able to assist you with all of these data points. Number 2, strategically price your house for sale. Okay, the guidance I am giving my sellers right now is list your house slightly below market value, because if you do, then the house is going to go under contract relatively quickly with potentially still multiple offers. So spend time with your agent. Come up with a very strategic price. Don't be afraid to go on the low side of the market. I know a lot of you are worried that there's going to be a lot of negotiation still and that it is going to go well below the asking price. We're just not seeing that in today's marketplace. The only time that we see big negotiations is when the house is overpriced. It's too high to begin with, and if it's not in that perfect showing condition. Remember, if you don't like the offer, you don't have to take it. You don't have to sell your home. It's important to wait for the right offer, especially when you have been given all of the information and you know the true value of your home. Number 3, upgrade your presentation of your home. Spend time decluttering. Make sure everything is tidy, the walls are painted, the carpets are clean, and nothing is in disrepair. Have a pre-sale inspection done and make the important repairs. Sing from the rooftops. Buyers want to know how well you have taken care of your house. Make sure that the house has a wonderful presentation, because there's a lot of competition on the market out there and there's less buyers. For the buyers who do cross the threshold into your home, you want the house to be perfect. This is what you want buyers to see, and they are willing to pay for cleanliness, repairs having been made, and that nice Pottery Barn look. Number 4, partner with a proactive agent. You don't want someone to just put your house in the MLS and put a lockbox on it and then just sit back and watch. You want someone who is going to be proactive, a problem solver, someone who is going to make good decisions at every step of the job. You want your agent to tell you the cold, hard truth about your house and help you to negotiate effectively and to get your home sold. Number 5, be flexible. We are in more of a buyer's market right now. So as buyers try to understand what the sellers want, you also need to listen to what the buyer wants. If you can give them their closing date and accept their due diligence and their earnest money, they may give you your price. So be careful to not lose an offer. It might take a minute for the market to generate a new buyer for you. I hope for those sellers out there that I have given you some good quality insights today into today's market and the best way that you can work with it. I'm Jodi Bakst with Real Estate Experts working in Chapel Hill and Durham, North Carolina. If this information was helpful, hit that like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on the bell to be notified for upcoming videos. There's more content coming all of the time. Happy summer, happy selling, and until next time.